guys, my name is Martin and you're watching WP Shout. And in today's video, we're going to talk about and let's get right into it. What I've done for today's tutorial is I've created two separate dummy websites. One I installed Neve FSE on, which is a block theme, and the other one I've installed regular Neve on, which is a classic theme. The reason I did that is because the way you change your font in WordPress is different for block themes and it's different for classic themes. So I'm going to show you both methods, starting with block themes. And let's go to our dashboard. Then we're going to go here to Appearance, and we're going to click on Editor. Then on this page, we're going to choose Styles. It's the second option down. And we're not actually going to click on any of these choices here. What we're going to do is we're going to click the pen that says Edit Styles. Then over on the right-hand side, menu, you see Typography is a choice. So we're going to click on Typography. And these are our fonts, right? So if you scroll down here where it says Elements, you can assign fonts to all these elements. So there's text, there's links, your headings, captions, and buttons. And you can see it, you can see a preview of it in real time as you're doing it. So for example, let's do headings. Here you see it's assigned so that the same font is assigned to all the headings. You see all headings, but you can actually customize them individually if you wanted to. So for title, H1, you could change it, and let's make it this, Hankin Grotesque. And then let's make it 56 pixels. Appearance, let's do bold, and then letter spacing, we can do 2 pixels. All right, and you can even adjust the letter case here as well. So you can make it all uppercase if you wanted to. You can make it all lowercase if you wanted to, or you can make it normal, well, not normal, but rather title case. Or you can leave it alone and just make it whatever, however you're typing. Actually, I'm going to make it 1 pixel between letters. All right, so that's how you assign it. You can do that for, any of them. You can go to H2, H3, and so on and so forth. Then when you're done with the headings, you go back up here, click the back arrow, and you can do it for all the other things. So for your text, if you wanted to, you can change it to some other font, and so on and so forth. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is basically a game changer, and it's something really, really nice that's specific to block themes, and it allows you to add hundreds, maybe even thousands, definitely hundreds of fonts from the Google Fonts library. What you do is you go to this thing here that says Manage Fonts. It's like these two, I don't even know what to call them, but basically here, it's this. Click on it, and this will open up a menu. And so right now, this is your existing library. You see it says library. This is what you have. You can also upload fonts that you downloaded from the web. But then here's the game changer. You go to Install Fonts, and then it says right here, Connect to Google Fonts. So you click Allow Access to Google Fonts. And now look here, you have 192 pages of fonts to choose from. You could spend all day here just looking through these. Now the thing is though, these don't all automatically install into your WordPress site. You have to actually choose which ones you want. For example, let's say we want Archivo. We click on it, then it shows us all the variations. So if you only want one variation, you can choose it and click Install. If you want the entire library, click Select All, click Install down here, and you see it says fonts were installed successfully. If there's a specific font, Google font that you know you want, you can also search for it. Here there's a search, so you can just start typing and different things will come up. So if you want to install this, you install it just like the other one, installed successfully, and so on and so forth. And when you're done, you just X out on the top right, and you'll see those fonts will be added. You see the Archivo 18 variants were added, and that Chalanka, the one variant, was added. And then you can assign these just like I showed you initially. So let's go back in, and we can do Chalanka for our regular fonts. We'll make it 14 points, and that's it. And then when you're done, you just click save on the top right, and your font changes will be saved. All right, so we are now inside my classic theme setup. This is Neve, and we're gonna go into the dashboard, and for this we're gonna install a plugin. So we're gonna go to plugins, add new plugin, and the plugin we're looking for is quite literally named Fonts Plugin. Very straightforward, and it's right here, Fonts Plugin. Use Google Fonts, Adobe Fonts, or upload fonts. Install now, then activate. All right, and with the plugin installed, the next step is to go here on the left-hand side menu and click on Customize Fonts. This will bring you into the WordPress customizer, which is how you edit global styles in classic themes. And you'll notice that there's several options, but the main two that I want to draw your attention to is basic settings and advanced settings. Now, basic settings is faster. It just allows you to set your fonts in a very, let's say, blanket fashion. So similar to how we saw in the block theme, how the default setting for headings was just all, this is kind of similar. Here it's headings typography, so you would just choose, one of these and then assign it, and then it would be assigned to all the headings, H1, H2, H3, H4, and so on. Now, depending on your own goals, that might be okay, but if you want a more granular level of control, then you go to advanced settings, and this really lets you customize, everything about your font on your site. So let's go into content, and here you can, choose your font for H1, for H2, for H3, and so on and so forth. So let's click on H1, for example. So you see at the top are the system fonts, which are just the default fonts. And then the plugin also installed all these Google fonts. You notice the heading here, Google Fonts. So you have all these, the same however many Google fonts that you saw when we imported them in the full site editor just a minute ago. So let's pick one. We'll do Lemon. So now it changes it here. Then let's say for H2 we wanted some other one, Aquafina script. We'll do that. And then for our regular typing font, we'll do Century Gothic. Sure, that sounds good. And you can even customize it to the point where you can do different things with lists. So let's say you have a list. You can make the font different for your lists. You can make it different if you have a quote. You can make it different for quotes, and so on and so forth. And you can customize it for what you want your font in your footer to look like. It's really high level here. And basically, when you're all done, you just click on Publish, and that'll make your changes go live. And that's it. Pretty easy, right? That brings us to the end of our tutorial. Now, one thing I do want to mention in case you were looking for it and you didn't find it by watching this video is that I showed you two methods for how to change your font in WordPress, but both of those methods applied to your global font settings, meaning changing your font across your entire website for all pages and posts. If you were looking for a solution that allows you to override those settings on an individual page or post, you can find that in the accompanying blog post tutorial, in these sections here. Choose and edit your fonts locally, and then select custom local fonts within a page or post. So if you go to the blog post, I explained how to do that here. I will put a link to the blog post in the video description down below, and you'll also find this video embedded there. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'll be glad to help you out, and be sure to subscribe to the channel because there's more great content coming soon.